What's up, everybody? It's Otaku Tavern back at you with another video. Hope everybody's doing well tonight, today, wherever it is you're from. And if you like the type of content that I create, make sure you like, subscribe, click the bell notification so that you do not miss a video. And something I've been wanting to talk about for a while, I'm going to do this in two parts, obviously. So this first part won't probably be too long, honestly, but what I want to talk about is we are more connected than ever, but still alone. And you know, back in like the 2000s, right? You know, back when the internet was like sort of just newer, so to say.
Villain, I'm not judging.
You know, it wasn't, I mean, this started in the 2000s, you know, but it really started when the smartphone came out. But, you know, you can add someone on social media. You can add someone on...
Did everyone miss me while I was off soaring through the stars?
A gaming console. You can add someone...
30 seconds before you attack.
On Discord. Wherever at, you know, you can...
Wow, a tree that size must be a really amazing thing for you.
You can really just walk up to somebody if you're bold and brave enough, I guess. You know, but, you know, the thing is, unless you're a certain type of status, unless you're a certain type of individual, a person, it's futile. It's meaningless because you're not going to get anywhere.
Sometimes you can reason with people.
You know, not only in my own life, but I've seen this time and time again happen to others. Not just myself, but I've seen it happen to many, many, many people struggle with this fate. And it's brutal, but you know, the thing is we are so connected today, man. We can literally just, not only on social media, like phone numbers, you know, we can Discord, the gaming console, the PC, you know, all of this. Oh, that's cool. And, you know, it's still futile because we are so connected. We can literally talk to somebody from the other side of the world. Like, my best friend is, like, in a totally different country than me. On the other side of the world. You know, so... You know, the thing with this is, like, you know... And even then, you know, you still... You just can't make connections, bro. Like, you try and try and try. You know, there's a saying that is total nonsensical garbage. It's if at first you don't succeed, try again, dust yourself off, try again. Okay? This was actually made pretty famous in a 1990s song by Aaliyah, the singer, called Try Again, which is... I like the song. I like Aaliyah. I think she had some pretty good music in the 90s, but, you know, like, this saying is so garbage because sure, it may apply to a person with money and status and social media following, but it does not apply to the outcast. It does not apply to a true, real, genuine otaku. It does not apply to, you know, really anybody that is an outcast to society. It doesn't apply to a shut-in, a hikikomori, access man, whatever, bro. Like it doesn't apply to any of these types of individuals. And you know, the saying should be is, if at first you don't succeed, try again and fail again. That's honestly what it should be, and I'm not trying to sound like a Debbie Downer here, but honestly, it's the truth, man. Like, it's the truth. I'm not going to sit and sugarcoat this because, like, it's just really, I don't know, man. Like, you can't really, you just can't really, you know, get like a win when it comes to this. But, you know, you can add all these people regardless of country, you know, dating apps, which are a joke, by the way. You know, we have a little phone in our pocket, a little computer in our pocket that makes us connected now more than ever, yet nobody wants anything to do with anybody. You know, it's a contest, like I said, you know, society is a contest to see who can be more fake, who can be more narcissistic, you know, all of this kind of stuff. And stuff we've talked about on the channel many a times. And it's like, you know, even when you try to talk to somebody, more than likely they just won't even respond to your friend request, right? They probably won't even respond, and if they do, if they do end up responding to it, you will be met most likely with complete and utter rudeness, more than likely. Like, now, if you say this kind of type of stuff ain't rude, then that lets me know you're rude yourself. But, like, you know, certain things people say is, oh, well, who the hell are you? Or who are you? You know, so real, like, just really, like, aggressive behavior. You know, not only that, but, like, you know, what do you want? Why the heck are you adding me? You know, just getting really defensive, man. Like, really defensive. And, you know, back when I added people, you know, I was constantly met with this stuff. Constantly. You know, no matter what. It never failed. Like, and the people that did reply, every single one of them, but about one or two. One that I know of, which is my best friend, like I said, but I think there might be one more, I don't know. But, like, they've just been fake, man. They've been fake, all of the rest of them, because, you know, these people, they don't really have, a lot of these, crap, I screwed that up. A lot of these people do not have your best intentions at heart, bro. Like, they don't. They just don't. And it's like, you know, it's just, it really shows how
their team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
Pathetic they are. Sorry, my. You can lie down there. Sorry, my cat. Anyway, yeah, I mean, you can't really add anybody because no one wants to have a genuine conversation. Honestly, people's, like, communication skills in today's world is absolute dog garbage, bro. Like, it is dog crap. Like, it is so bad. Like, nobody knows how to talk anymore. Social media is the blame for this, like I've talked before, but, you know, we're so connected now that, like, it makes the loneliness, it amplifies the loneliness by 1,000,000,000%. I mean, it is so bad. Like, it is so bad that, you know, you got people that are so lonely, they're seppukuing, bro. Like,
half of the mission area. Keep going.
I mean, I hate to say that. I wish they wouldn't do that, but, like, I mean, it's really rough. And it's like, you know, now, like, for an otaku, honestly, in my opinion, now is the time, in my personal opinion, to become a hikikomori. You will not go wrong with becoming a hikikomori. You're not missing anything by becoming a hikikomori because, you know, a lot of when the people like, you think about like hermits, right? You know, hermit maxing, bro. They had it right, bro. They had it right because at least they knew like what they had to do because they knew they were just rejects of society. You know, and it's like when you're a reject of society, you know, it's like you ain't even given a fighting chance, bro. But like, I mean, but you know, we're more connected than we've ever been before, bro. Not just because of the internet, but you know, social media, YouTube, Discord. I mean, I could go on, bro. Gamers are more connected now than ever, but most gamers are pretty lonely, man. And it's like, sounds like they don't want to communicate. Sorry, I just saw that. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. I mean, because that's the way that it's going, man. That's the way that's going. No one wants to communicate. I mean, like, me personally, like, other than online, you know, or somebody that I live with, it's been a very good minute, man. It's been a very good minute since I've had a actual genuine conversation with someone. It's been a very, very, very long time. Like, it's been so long ago that, like, I honestly don't even remember. That's actually how long it's been, man. It's like, you know, that's brutal, bro. Like, you know, and you know, before some moron tells me to go out here, oh, you just got to put yourself out there, you know, all that garbage, Andrew Tate crap. Bro, look, I'm going to be honest with you. The only reason you succeeded was because you had status or money or something like that. It's not because you put yourself out there. You know, every human being puts themselves out there to a degree, so I don't really want to hear that. You know, because that's just ridiculous. Like, that right there, that's just... I'm sorry, I'm not brainwashed by that. So, you can take that on somewhere else. Just don't watch the channel if that's how you feel. But, like... Not only that, but, like, another thing, too, is... You know, even if you try to approach someone, you know, maybe say, oh, well, you like their shirt, kind of start up a conversation or something. It's like, bro, you can't even do that now because, bro, anymore, like, if you smile at someone, they think you're up to something. Literally, I stress this, and I can't stress this enough because I've seen many of people complain about how they smile at someone in public, and somebody will come up to them and be like, "Hey, well, what's going on? You know, why are you smiling at me like that? You know, so you want to go at it? You know, you got beef or whatever." You'll hear this stuff, man. Like, You know, it's like everybody, it seems like everybody is looking for a confrontation nowadays. You know, it's like everybody's looking to be aggressive. And it's like, bro, that right there, man, that is brutal, bro. Like, that right there, it's just so bad, man. Like, I can't stress this enough. Like, another thing, too, also this, too. Like, say you do end up talking to someone, you know, getting them to actually care about you is a totally different baseball game, bro. Like, because most of the time, if you do get someone to talk to you, they end up ghosting you a few days later, a few weeks, maybe a few months. Hell, even maybe a couple of years, bro. Like, you know, it's like nothing, you know, everything is just superficial, artificial. It's like, it's not, it just doesn't have any value to it no more. It's no meaning, bro. Like, you know, as soon as they don't get this extreme dopamine high, they're gone, man. So it's like, you know, that's what I'm saying. The problem with this is these people are not genuinely, truly connecting. Because honestly, I'll tell you this, I don't think many people know how to connect anymore because of the phone in their pocket, you know, it's changed how people converse, it's changed how people view other human beings. You know, their lives, all of it. It's changed everything, you know, and it's just, man, dude, like, I hate it too because, I mean, I miss the days when you could just talk to someone, have a good conversation, man. It's like, bro, you can't even have that no more, man. Like, Unless you're of like a certain status or something like that, you know, like we've talked about before. People like me, no, we can't have it, man. You know, we're alone. You know, more than likely we're probably hikikomoris, you know, or you know, or somebody that probably a hermit, you know, like if that's what they want to call themselves. Like, I mean, it's just I don't know, man. Like, it's just, it's crazy. Like, you would think that the need for human connection would completely just take over. You would think that it would, but it's like, no, these people are so dang numb. They're so numb to everything that they've literally, like, their brain has been completely rewired. And it's like, that's why people are so depressed, they're so anxious a lot of the times, is because they're lonely, they're alone, they've got no one to count on, no one truly cares about them. Believe it or not, most people that have people in their life don't have anybody that truly cares about them either. You know, social media is a lie. It tries to paint that, you know, these certain types of people have all this, oh, the perfect friendship, the perfect family, perfect marriage, perfect kids. Like, you know, none of this is true, man. It's all BS. Like, it's not true. Like, it's very fabricated. You know, like, it doesn't show what goes on behind closed doors. It doesn't show really how the body language that these people, how they act in public. It doesn't show any of this. And it's like, you know, you try to put yourself out there. It does no good, man.
30 seconds before you
Bro, I have spent most of my life putting myself out there, bro.
beyond the scope of your abilities, Spider.
Seriously. I've spent most of my life putting myself out there, and I have nothing to show for it, bro.
Yes.
Nothing.
The Enigma Force.
Like,
I
like as far as like people around me, you know, that people that do not live with me, by the way.
3, 2,
You know,
to do is capture the
and it's
mission
just
area.
like, I mean, I only have one person living with me, but like, you know, I miss genuine connection, man. I really do, and it's not coming back. I'm gonna be honest. It's not coming back. It's gone. It is gone forever. Like,
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
because it's like none of this stuff is going to go back to the way that it was. None of the stuff is going to go back to, you know, friendly interactions. And I'm not talking about BS small talk, by the way. You know, small talk doesn't have any place in my life. I don't care about that. I mean, I think it's obviously just pointless. I would rather just hikikomori max. But like, you know, I would just rather be my hikikomori self because, you know, honestly, you know, I can understand why Futaba is the way she is in Persona 5. You know, she's hella cute. But like, I understand the way she is, why she is, because even though she's like this good waifu, but like, you know, she before she met the Phantom Thieves, bro, like she's just so lonely, you know, and even now, like, even I would argue she still does have certain types of loneliness, like, you know, but she's a shut-in, bro. You know, she's a hikikomori, man. And it's like, you know, I get it, bro. I mean, I'm the same way. Because being a hikikomori, man, it's gotten to the point now to where it's much more peaceful. Only go out when you need to. Or when you want to get like something like of your hobbies or something. Other than that, just stay in the house, man. You know, because it's like, see, hikikomoris, they'll try to tell us, oh, well, you need to get out more. That's why you're depressed. It's like, no, we're not depressed because we're a hikikomori. We're depressed because we are a shut-in and an outcast from society, and we know that that is not going to change because we do not have the status, we don't have the money, we don't have the high social media following, you know, doing the latest trend or the latest dumb gadget. Like, you know, like, it's just, it's ridiculous. But yet, we're more connected now than ever, but we are more further apart and lonelier than ever. You know, like, even dating, Roz. You know, people especially don't know how to do that. You go on a date, one or both people are just sitting there on their phone during the dinner date, and it's like, you can't even get to know someone anymore because the phone is in the way, bro. You know, everybody is being freaking phubbed. You know, phubbing is at an all-time high. That I plan on talking about that sometime. That right there, phubbing, I'm going to tell you now, that's going to get much, much worse. Like, it's not going to get better. And it's already at a drastically all-time high. And it's like, you know, I mean,
defense is compromised.
I just don't. You know, social media was created, they say, to bring people together from, like, all over the world, you know, but that's the thing, it did the total opposite of that. So you have to question was that really their goal, or was it their goal to just divide people even more? You know, like that's really the million-dollar question. I'll tell you that now, like, because I don't really believe that it was honestly created to unite people and to bring people together. I just really don't believe that. I have a hard time believing that, because if that was the case, then why isn't it happening? You know, you have like all these people that most of them just want you as like a trophy friend. Like, oh, I have this many friends on my friends list, you know, yada, yada, yada. I won't tell you that I don't talk to them because it's part of the act, but, you know, it's kind of like that. Like, you know, and it's like, that's totally meaningless. Like, why would you even want to have all these friends on your list if you're not even conversing or talking with them? Why? It makes no sense. Like, you know, it just goes to show that most people value fakeness. It just goes to show you this, because, you know, that's what it is. It's total fake. You know, you're not building rapport or connections with these people. You're just accepting them and just saying, oh, well, I have a high friend list. I have a high social media following of people that I don't talk to. And it's like, I'm telling you, people's lost their mind. They've absolutely lost their mind. And, like, I don't, honestly, it's, at this point, I'm honestly surprised humanity is still kicking, to be honest with you. I really am. But the thing is God is keeping them ticking, obviously.
Stay strong.
But, like, still, man, like, one has to wonder,
Right through me. I bet you've heard that before too, Emma.
you know,
Have said as much.
when will this all end, man? Like, because there is no end in sight to this, man. It's
One
just,
mother to another. Let me say you are a true gem.
it's just so bad, man. Like,
4, 3, 2, 1. Now it's
like, I don't know what else to say, like, about that, because, you know, you try, like, another thing too is when you try to put yourself out there, this could be friendship wise or dating wise, you know, even if it's just a little small minute detail that they dislike about you, that's it, man. You're done. Out you go. You know, there's no 3 strikes, you're out. There's one thing wrong with you and you're out. You know, that's the way that it works now. Like, you know, you can't have difference of opinion. You can't, you know, on certain things. You can't have, and by the way, I'm not talking about garbage like politics, but I'm just talking about, like, say, like, you have a different opinion on what the best Marvel Rivals character is. Say you're talking with someone, say you think Penny Parker is the best Marvel Rivals character, and then this other person says, oh, well, no, we can't be friends because I think Phoenix is the best. So, yeah, you're going to have to slide out of my, you know, really, like, slide out of my DMs, because that's just, no. It's like, really, man? Like, this is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. Like, and it doesn't even have to be gaming, man. It could be just any kind of, oh, you don't like, you don't like, cheesecake? Oh, no. It's like you've committed a crime, bro. You don't know, can't be friends with you, man. It's like, it's almost like that everybody wants everyone to be identical, the exact same person. And it's like, bro, that would be so boring, man. That'd be so boring. But it's like, you know, any little small difference of opinion. Say you don't like something that they do. Oh no, that's bad. Nope, can't do that. Can't be friends with you because you don't like it. So yeah, not gonna.
Executioner!
It's like, now, I mean, if you're like an otaku or something, and like, obviously, you're probably not going to be friends with somebody who don't like anime. I mean, that honestly makes sense. I mean, I wouldn't say that's bad. I mean, that's kind of not really a small, minute detail, really. But, like, I'm just talking about very just petty, small, minute details, like, about a person, and... You know, there's even people that won't talk to you if they don't like your voice. Like, you know, there's people who will click off your stream if they don't like your voice. You know, yada, 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 right? And it's like, you know, the people are obsessed with so-called perfectionism. That does not exist, by the way. You know, and it's like... You can't really talk to anybody anymore because of this, because it's just too stressful, because nobody is perfect, nobody's going to meet up to the standard, and the people that so-called meet up to these standards of perfectionism are people who have high status, high social media following, money, all of this. Like, you know, that's the way that it is now. And it's like, I don't like it, because it's terrible. Like, it's just...
Beholds the god of thunder!
You know, like, me personally, society is not taking steps forward. It's taking steps backward. You know, on a lot of things, man. A lot of things is taking steps backwards. And stuff like this is what I'm talking about. You can't really... You know, even like, you know, say like a holiday dinner, whatever holiday you celebrate from whatever country, a lot of times, you know, especially here in the States, you know, UK, I've heard, Australia, you know, you can't even sit down with your family because they would rather be on their phone. These people don't listen to anything you say, because they're on their phone, or they're doing something else. I'm going to tell you this now, when you're talking to somebody, regardless of whatever it is, man, and they aren't listening to you, and they're just doing something else, but they're not listening to you, they do not care what you are saying. They are saying, you are not important, whatever it is you're saying isn't important, whatever I'm doing is far more important than whatever the hell you're saying. So it's like, you know, the question remains is, do you want to keep these individuals in your life? That's the question. I mean, I think you'd be crazy if you said yes. I think most sane people would say, yes, you'd be crazy. But here's the thing, most people will do this. They will keep toxic family members in their life simply due to the fact they're just family. And, you know, I don't know, man, it just really goes to show that we're really, society is cooked, man, on a lot of things. It's cooked on a lot of things. So, not liking their voice is a ridiculous reason not to want to talk to someone. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think any reason I've listed is a ridiculous reason not to want to talk to somebody, because it's like, you know, human beings are social creatures, but it's like everybody has now somehow turned this off, or I mean, well, they didn't really turn it off. They're just playing pretend, really, because that's why they're anxious. That's why they're depressed, you know, and all this stuff is because nobody is ever good enough for them. Like, you know, because they're all chasing after perfectionism. You know, can't have any flaws, can't have anything wrong with them, any difference of opinion. You know, it's like, yeah, man, society is cooked. It's been cooked for quite a long time now. And, you know, it's just over, bro. Like, it's completely over with that. So, yeah, definitely, you know, the time for otakus is now. The time to start hikikomoriing, bro, that right there, that is the time to hikikomori. I can't stress it enough. because you will be honestly better off. I mean, yeah, sure, you're still going to be lonely, but you're going to be lonely regardless if you're a hikikomori or not. You know, so it's like, become a hikikomori, reject society since they've rejected you. You know, like, I don't really care for the movie, but, you know, there is one thing that the Lion King Disney film, there is one thing I think this movie got it very right. And, you know, Timon and Pumbaa, you know, one of them's like, when the world turns its back on you, you turn your back on the world. Now, honestly, that's probably one of the smartest quotes that Disney has probably ever put within a Disney film. You know, I think that that's a very good idea. I think it's I think that's great advice, so to say. But anyway, I'm going to end this part here. I will make a part 2 to this sometime in the near future. It is late, so that's why I'm ending this early. Because I got someone I got to talk to. But it's like, you know, yeah, like, I mean, it's just ridiculous, man. Like, that you can't really do anything like this. You just can't really. We're just more connected now than ever, but we're just more lonely than ever. You know, and sadly, it's not going to change. But anyway, you guys take care. If you like the video, make sure to give it a like, give it a thumbs up. Or if you don't like it, give it a dislike. That's whatever. Anyway, yeah, so make sure you click the bell notification if you want to be notified about upcoming videos. Subscribe if you aren't already subscribed. Yeah, good night, man. And I will catch you all later. God bless you all, and I will see you all next time.